Oh yeah, it's fair enough. Oh crap, I didn't mean to tick on that. Are you going to try and get on there, Noah? How is your new school, by the way, dude? Have you settled in there, alright? Right, so... Wait, is that empty box still there? Yeah, it is. We'll look at the Jack file, right? I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. Oh, I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, it's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that... I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. I'm really struggling how to say his name now. The desk lamp. Byakuya grabbed that one thing from over here and put it over there. It sure is dark over there. Right, okay, just making sure. Right, I don't think there's anything else here. Wait, where was the laptop that was here? Yeah, no worries. I said, how's your new school? Have you settled in alright there, dude? There was a laptop here. What happened to that? Right, okay. So, I need to speak to people now and head to the main gate. There's a warehouse area, but I can't remember where that is. But that's where Celeste is, apparently. It's the medical room. Main gate is here. Oh my god. I'll speak to you if you're there.
How unfortunate.
Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it, I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. First floor where the bathhouse was. Okay, cool. Thank you, dude. Wait. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, this is not where I'm meant to go. I'm meant to go through here. And I want to go overlook here. There's a mailbox here, and inside are Junko, Leon, and Sayaka's handbooks. It looks like the handbooks of any dead students. Oh yeah, this is not good. Okay. Right, I was hoping that, what's her name? Chihiro was going to be there.
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
Oh, is he speaking? What's up? I haven't been up to anything myself, that's for sure. Definitely haven't looked inside the mailbox. Okay. Well, I think now I need to go to the to the warehouse, by the bathhouse. Yeah, I mean, it must be... There must be a slip up somewhere that they've done to allow the installation. Oh, right, it's here, and this was previously closed off. Whoa. And Celeste is here, okay. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I will tell you and only you.
Actually...
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What, really?
Indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
Hmm? What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
Minecraft Educate... What? Education Edition? What? What the hell's Minecraft Education Edition?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this ever would have happened. Minecraft with school shit, really? That's a thing. I had no idea. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste says she saw Chihiro carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Okay, or unless she did put it in her room. Oh man, where do I even start in this place? Is this the fridge Sayaka mentioned? I don't see anything noteworthy here. Can I leave? Yeah, I think we need to speak to, what's his face? I'm having a real mental block with everyone's names all of a sudden. Dining hall as well, seems like a place of interest. We'll go in here then. Oh, maybe Hina can tell us more about the girls' locker rooms as well. Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before. She won't come out. She just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah!
Oh, but don't worry. I'm going to head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course. Of course. There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret.
Aww.
Oh, I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex?
Ah!
Wait, maybe she was used to guys spawning her. The law said you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Get over it. Oh, didn't you refund it? Or did you not? Oh no, we got all the evidence we can. I wanted to speak to Byakuya. Oh, it's time for the class trial. Here we go.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in?
1 second, Monokuma.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial!
You did? How did you know its exact file size?
You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Yeah, I know where to go.
See you soon!
You must have got that from your Steam directory, right? Begin the class trial, or it's about to begin. The red door. Wait, do I get a choice? Oh, okay. Fair enough, dude. I was getting my Danganronpa detective skills on you then. The red door is right through here. It made it sound like I could still examine. It said investigate. I don't know if you can. Alright. Well, let me save the crap out of this. Whew. I can't remember any of the tutorials from the class trial. Ahem. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Toko's not here.
Huh?
And Toko is...
Huh?
You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nutjob? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just 1 moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you drag a girl around. No, I'm a bit worried about this class trial. I feel like we had a much clearer idea of what happened in Sayaka's murder as opposed to this one. Don't you think? Terrible. You're terrible. Phew. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get the show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's
I've got no clue. So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. Yeah, I think we'll have to go on the very little we know and hope that the lies will uncover more lies. And that murderer is one of us. Someone's standing right here. Oh man, the room's getting a little bit smaller. It really is. I just want to speak to him. I'll give you plenty to work with. Show us how far logic can take you. Let me in. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked towards the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. Oh boy. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Oh, it's all gold. Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defence, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yes, let me save. Let's go. Oh, set me skills again. So I've got loads of skill points, but no skills. Okay. Oh, vocabulary. Increased bullet capacity, effective during the bullet time battle. Sure. That's the only two skills we have, so I don't know what to do apart from that. Oh, we've got 16 truth bullets. Seems like quite a lot. Right, let's go. All right.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
We know what that is. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. It's the locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yes.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Is that wrong?
Shoot!
Oh no. Okay, okay. Should have let it go a bit longer.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
It
I can't believe
appears it was a
Chihiro's dead.
head wound.
Sorry, that's
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument.
But welcome to the stream.
What kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Now we've got to find out who killed her.
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, okay. Why didn't I wait a bit more?
No, that's wrong.
Welcome, YouTube. Hope you don't mind if I call you that for short. I'm a little bit
Can we agree
tense
that
right
the
now.
object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime?
Definitely. It's covered in blood.
It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Is it?
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
Oh, we haven't got a clue who it could be.
Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Here we go again, Noah. New information to learn. For this debate, lines of white noise would appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the A button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot a natural remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so stay careful aiming with your silencer out. Oh my god. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. No, we're not gentle, we're like medium. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Good luck and have some fun. But wait, there's more. Right, this is Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack.
I'm sure
Wait,
of it.
what's these purple
Case
things? Is
closed, as far as I'm concerned.
Are they the white noise?
That's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
There
No,
is,
that's
okay.
wrong.
There's a bit more to learn, yeah.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
I didn't understand that white noise part at all. So was the white noise the purple text? I'm guessing, right? And I have to press A on it?
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Hifumi? Why?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
No, don't tell them, because then they'll all know. Puts us all on an even playing field. Okay, the other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body. Yeah, how the victim was
I
positioned.
got it!
Boob lust.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
I don't know if it is.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Yeah, it might be Toko, actually.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What?
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember?
Yeah.
What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
That's a good point.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Wait, what?
Another riddle. Man, why has this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko, the split personality. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Yes, okay. Oh, Hangman's Gambit, this bit. Wait, what is that? What's that word? What word is that? S. Oh, is it skits? So Z. Or S? I just put. Oh, there it is. That was tough.
Now I understand.
But we got it. Bags of time.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed, right?
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. I remember that, that was kind of weird. Oh, was that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? I'm not doing a little laugh. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
But if that's herself though, right? But won't let Genocide Jack have control. So this one has to not be the Genocide Jack half of her. This one is not the killer half. Oh, drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You
promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
He's so ruthless and heartless.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Yeah, remember, she did speak about the promise, but he wouldn't tell us about it originally. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me.
Oh, I feel quite sorry for her a bit.
That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
So she's admitting to the murder now then? That is definitely her that did it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. In the next second... Oh!
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
That is pretty scary.
Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
That tongue is terrifying.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Oh my god, that is nightmare fuel.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then, it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
What? She's not the culprit. What? What? It's not her.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's
Oh my
the
God.
truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Man, what a good twist. So she's a crazy killer, but she's not the killer in this case. What on earth? Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it doesn't.
What more proof do we need? Give it
Okay,
up.
can I rewind?
You killed her.
Okay, I can go through that again.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say
Oh,
that,
there you go.
but perhaps if you had an...
Oh, an alibi.
When you compare your...
The modus
Operandi matches
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. And I'm telling you, it wasn't exactly the same. Genocide Jack's always been stabbed.
Are the
in
methods
places.
of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction.
Yeah, look, they're all stabbed with scissors, are they?
I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Okay. There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference. The victim's fatal injury?
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
Very strange.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
What's the other
That's
one?
right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Yeah, well, pasta.
So,
Put me off
are
pasta.
you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you
Yeah, now we're
remember
getting
what
somewhere.
the killer used to suspend her? They'd use some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
That was my chair if you heard a sound that sounded like a fart.
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Scissors.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's 2 differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case.
Always men.
There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Big Mac, yeah, that's me. She only kills men.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
I got it!
Oh, we're
Is
smashing
it
this one now.
because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada 32. Okay, I won't read all them again because I'll just ruin their names, poor sods. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
That's a great way of putting
I
it.
have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy.
I reckon it's him. Must be
But that's
Byakuya.
not all there is to it.
Everything points to him now, right?
It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill
Rob's
in order
very
to
good.
survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Oh god, you'll have to be strong to pick up the dumbbell.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class
You got a ramen
envy of the
addiction?
entire world scissors!
Doesn't sound like the worst addiction you could have. I could really go for some ramen after this stream. I'm quite hungry.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Okay, so what if it's someone who has to be big and strong?
Are
to lift
you
up the
sure
dumbbell?
about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh my god, look at her.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. It's got to be... You can just see Monokuma. Laughing. It could be him, right? Byakuya. Gotta be. It's gotta be, right?
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so
here we
hard
go.
was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Was it? I can't remember. In the locker rooms. Yeah, suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
Oh, so you'd naturally go to the guys' one first.
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Oh my god.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya's just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. Oh, a new element has been added. Come on in. Next we're going to add something called a true flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the Y button, then you'll memorise that weak spot. This memorised phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. What the fuck are you on about, game? If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from the truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorise a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case though, I'll say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have some fun. Oh nice, I still need to play Deltarune. There's 2 cases out now, isn't there? 2 episodes of Deltarune out.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
I don't know what we do here. No, he tweeted. He said, oh, episode 2 is out today. Toby Fox tweeted. But he tweeted that like a few weeks ago. Oh, okay.
So,
Right,
you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Oh, I get it.
how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out...
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong.
Right, okay. Oh, was that a troll account?
I'll tell you what's so strange about that.
Oh, shit. Oh my god, I fell for that one. Never clicked it, I just read it. Because I want to play I want to wait till they're all out before I play through them. But, oh man. I'll tell you, okay.
Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Yeah, exactly.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see.
He's got to be the killer.
That's a good answer, I must admit.
It's got to be him.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible was hidden in there. What could it be? I don't know. Library desk lamp.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope
before in my life.
Oh, that's it. Yes, we got it.
No, that's wrong.
You liar. Good thing we missed the first ones.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
We got him.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this?
He's too smug for my liking.
I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
Yeah, I guess so. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. And as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
He's got an accomplice.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room. But does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? She was killed in the boys' locker room because the mats were swapped. Because Sakura spilt protein shake over the mat. No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
This makes me think so hard.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Oh, he's sweating.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe Byakuya never could even realize that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. There. Oh. Shit. Oh, the murder. The poster's got blood on it. Okay, it's that.
I got it!
Oh, okay, that's close.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
Definitely they were switched.
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
We're on the same page.
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. There we go. This time it's
got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
She borrowed someone's...
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
Leon's?
But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yeah, she had Leon's handbook, I think.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm too gung-ho.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about
Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
Because his is broken. Can't have been Leon's. Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's
No,
handbook?
there's a loophole.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one.
There we go.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Always forget about Monokuma being here.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
How could she have got in there?
So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
It's a first.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Where the hell is she taking us? So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was back to the scene of the crime.